What is the most important thing about you? What would be your answer? According to A.W. Tozer, he was a pastor that lived a couple of generations ago. He said that the most important thing about you is what you think about when you hear the word God. What do you think about when you hear the word God? In fact, what I want you to do for a minute, I want you to forget about the word God for a minute. You know, that's not his name. His name isn't God. Okay, this is just a word we use to describe the ultimate being. But I want you to forget that word for a minute, and instead of thinking about the word God, I want you to think about who is the source and sustainer of all things. Who is the source and sustainer of all things? And I think if we had time in here to go through this, we would conclude that the source and sustainer of all things this being has certain characteristics. We lay this out in the book, Stealing from God. What are these characteristics? First of all, this being is self-existing. He is the uncaused cause of all being. He didn't have a beginning. He won't have an end. He didn't have a cause. He is what Aristotle might call the unmoved mover, the being that has always existed and will always exist. This being is also infinite, meaning it's unlimited, this being. It has no potential to get better. It can't change because this being is maximally good, completely actualized, we might say. This being is also simple, meaning the being's undivided. It doesn't have any parts. It's not composed. This is one reason that we know God is uncreated. Everything that's created is composed. It's composed of parts. You're composed of parts. I'm composed of parts. This church obviously is composed of parts. If something is composed, then someone must have composed that being. Put the parts together, in other words. The ultimate being can't be composed. The ultimate being must be uncomposed. Simple. Also, this being must be spaceless, to transcend space. Timeless, to transcend time. This being's eternal. This being created time. He's not inside of time, he created time. This being is also immaterial, and meaning spirit, not made of matter. Jesus famously says to the woman at the well, God is spirit, and we must worship him in spirit and in truth.